First of all, I want to advise you in the very true and profound meaning of practice. This is how, when I am suffering or very painful, I don't keep my mindfulness in other skill. This is how I put my life into very simple and not connected to processing, but connected to ceasing. When I don't move my body, then I will remember my breathing. When I'm not moving, the body is still just breathing. When the body is moving, then I will remember my body, especially hand contact, footstep contact, and buttock contact. I will very mindful to keep aware of this very body, and then with the contact or with the feeling. So in that way, I will say that I put my mind into form state, not in the desire ring. If you put your mind into thinking mind, that will cause you a lot of painful and suffering, because our memory and our connection to the world's information totally put you into chaos. So I see that the Buddha talk about the path and the fruit. Even though we not come to the fruit yet, if we put our mind or the practice still connected on the path, you say, you release. This is how I make my life. It worked really well. Even though a very painful condition come to the life, I still easy to handle, because I don't think it. If I don't want to think it, I can don't think it, then I'm okay. You see? So this is a habitual pattern. Really need to keep maturing in the life. I am in the form state, not in the desire state. Desire is burning. All about is craving, or the anger, or even though you ignore in that. So you need to ceaselessly come to the form state. Form state is release, because it has no other, only alertness, awareness, processing of awareness. So this is how I keep it in my life, that pattern. I will this little bit information. Breathing, moving, dynamic body. So the mind is only know the breathing, or the body is the form. So you are in the process of listening. So medically, is it? Am I spelling right? Medical. Yeah. So I found this work. We call it Samana culture, or the in India we call renunciate culture. But in the new translation, what in English they use this word. I found this word is the very meaningful of the Buddha life. Okay. So right now we go to the Buddha life reality in his country. So we go here. So once you see here that you see that Kapilawatu and Kosala, Kosala is the country where the Buddha born. And then Kapilavatthu is the nation's capital. And then the king, Sultan Dharma or Dharma, is his father. This is a small country, surrounded by these two big countries, Magadha, King Bimbasara, and then later on here, Asu Achita Satu, prince. This is a very powerful prince. Yeah. So the big country is involved. The Kusala, the small country, is in this side. And then the other country, we call that, also named as Kosala, the big country in the south side, and then King Bimbasara, King Pasenadi is a good friend of the Buddha. So two big countries, a small country. Last time I mentioned about, very difficult in Ukraine and Russia, United States. Very difficult in what we call it, Taiwan, China, and United States. And right now, very difficult. Arab country, Israel, America. Okay. I mentioned this is about, I don't see the solution for the attachment of anything that deep in your mind you can solve the problem. I don't see it. I still see the Buddha very wise. His decision is, I keep my life in medical in order that my opinion and my experience of training to overcome problem might be, you can see it. And from you can see it, you can practice it, maybe that will change the value of life. To see the truth. So his whole life is in between here, travel around. Even though they have other small countries, but this is the big problem there. Okay, so right now let me move to the other page. So I want to directly go to the first line that I put it into one sentence for my life. It becomes very important. The right way in the world is the vicissitude. That is how I see the world. I don't use the word suffering, but I use the word this. If you see that the life in any nation, in anything that you base on is not going to work very well because of this word. Continue processing. Anything that you keep in the mind, need to take it out or need to release it when the time comes. Otherwise, it will suffer. So I put, after the Buddha's enlightened, his life, I make it into 3 periods of time. Then you can see the first, the age of 39 to the age of 50. When after enlightened, he come to the society, not famous, even mix of what we call that some praise and some blame. Someone is very respected, honors you, but someone is pointing the finger to you because he tells what he knows, his opinion, and his ways of guide the life. So he tells a lot of things. Some other, of course, religion not accepted, merchant not accepted, government officer not accepted, even though the king not accepted. Some is honors him, welcome him, and then obey and take refuge. I say half in this many years, first period of life. Not too famous, but slowly we know who is this person and what is his opinion. How he bring this teamwork to show the personality, the characteristics of this very body and mind can bring, talk about the factors of release or the Nibbana, the factors of Nibbana. See, generosity is the factors of Nibbana. You know, virtue is the factor of Nibbana. Meditation is the factors of Nibbana. Wisdom is the factors of Nibbana. It's a lot of things. Means you need to complete all these factors in order that you can perfect your life into liberation. We talk about this. So some is against other religion, other perspective of life, other opinion or vision. He tell what he knows. So the second age of 50 to 65. In these periods of life, that so many take refuge and follow his path. So he become more famous. His reputation become more high. I would say that it's like one guy, every morning he wake up very early and work very hard preparing of farming. So go seed and then take care everything, and then the sunshine, you know, and warm enough, all the conditions support enough, then things grow very well. So you got your own harvest. You put the seed and you got your own harvest. The Buddha also the same. His concern is peace of society or discipline of society. And then showing all the good emotion, you know, generosity, loving kindness, compassion, you know, very wise to deal with problem, not go to extreme. You know? So you got more friends, you build up. Friendship. And us too talk about the noble friendship is the whole. Is the whole of Nibbana or liberation. See, we talk that kind of important, not only the common friendship, but noble friendship. See, we talk about that. So the Buddha, in this age, he become like the what I said, like the noontime sunshine. The life what he is. And then come to the age of 65 to the end of his life. the sutra said 80 years old. His life go very, very challenging in this time. What I may say that a lot of the difficulty and from the inner of his own spiritual community and in the exterior, the nation become more destruction, more into fight, war, like that. That is the end of his life he fed into. If you use the words, our dream to say is unfortunate. The timing come to the end of the life, unfortunate. But this, when I read more in this biography, I see, this personality, if he had all the stress, he said that I am overcome all the suffering and stress. Because I come to the state of nirvana, and then see how he handled this problem. Then it made me have confidence. I am still a little bit far from this difficulty, but the difficulty already, appear into the world. So I have a lot of anxiety. My personality is not that kind of positive personality. It's a little bit depression personality. So I was sitting in the not depression way, but in anxiety way. Oh, this become worry. I need to be alert. Oh, this become something that warning call. I need to be move faster and move higher in order that become flat to my life. But I have that kind of alertness in the life, but too much, worry will be, appear in the mind. So when I see how he handled this, I see this personality is very different when the calamity of nation come out, when the big fight in the spiritual life in his own community, how he handled it. Oh, he's wise, really wise. At least his personal life will release from that. He don't step into the merge. And he don't guide a group of people come into the, what we call that, the Great mountain suddenly fall down. Yeah. He don't guide that people come in. He know where to stop. Okay. So here, when the aging, that the first problem him is Devadatta, his own relative, and then his disciple take audience, and then he with the what we call that with that Magadha kings, Ajata Sattu. So we call that Black Asoka. And then after he feel regret, and he turned his life, take refuge to the Buddha, called White Asoka. So when Devadatta see the Buddha getting aging and not active anymore, then he is supported by this king of Magadha. Magadha king, is a kick out his own father king and become the king then. And listen to this Devadatta, a lot of a very serious practice to show he has the superpower. He is very extreme into ascetic training, so that people will open their eye. Oh, this great man, this powerful man. Then we don't know what is the ascetic training. Is not the solution to liberation. Even though the world right now also the same thing. Asceticism will make a lot of influence, especially right now still in India. But it's not going to overcome the human beings look to the solution to overcome poverty, poor, illness, facing to a lot of conflict, not going to have any good solution than what I see the Buddha mentioned. The Buddha really give a lot of good condition, wholesome factor to the human life. If you want to share your work to serve for release, this is the solution. The Buddha give a lot of clear information to this. So the second is in the Magadha. So he take over the nation, and then his ambition, he expand his own power to invent other country, invent other land. So killing a lot and destroy a lot of culture and other, what I said, things that been destroyed. So after that, he see the suffering and he regret when he meet again with the Buddha. So he take refuge back. So we call that white Asoka from there on. This is what the Buddha mentioned in the sutra there. And then Bimbosora is the king that in the south. When he see the Buddha still practicing, not been enlightened yet, then he said, oh, this very disciplined guy, very self-confident man, very wise. Know him is the, from Kusala country, Sakyan family. Is a very well-trained in the prince life, want to come to the position, govern the country. So he know his skill. So he said, oh, if you disrobe, come to my country, I will share half of my country to you. We both together take care of this country. The Buddha said, no. I look for the way out, escape, still not found yet. So let me back to my medical, carry on my, training in order that maybe I can realize it. So after the Buddha enlightened, so that he is the first king invited him come to the country there. So I say first means he is so close, and you see what the Buddha mentioned to him. He mentioned about, this is what is called right and gentle, generosity, and discipline, and then talk about loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, equanimity. Talk about this. So this is good for where? Good for the relation in the society. No matter what boundary you are, you need to spread these three. We call that three light righteousness of the common life. Generosity. You need to share more what you can. discipline, and then is the Brahma world, the heaven world, heaven state, way to connect to the heaven state. Not only you are having, if you have it, then you will fall into that what the sutra mentioned in the later. The sutra mentioned there are the asura being and the heaven being involved. Asura being means very powerful, poor, and lack of support, but he had one thing is powerful, angry. Almost hopeless of life, just burning, angry. This is called Asura. He will fight with the dark skill. That is the sutra mentioned. And heaven being, they have all what he had. Skillful means that then his state of life is fortunate, everything what he got, but just not got enough to share with the Asura spirit, to touch with Asura spirit, so they have war. If you see back to today's reality, it really is like that. So the Buddha is very deep in, observation of the realities of the human life about nation to nation. He never go to involve that kind of power. He released himself. So he talked about the Four Noble Truths is the second. He talked to the Bimbasara king. So after listening to that, I think this king enlightened. So in his whole life, he is the king, what we call the Dharma king. Means he turned this way of just now what I mentioned. So the Dharma king turned the wheel of generosity, discipline, and for Brahma Vihara. So this is how emotionally loving kindness and compassion, empathetic joy, and equanimity will bring you a lot of connection and a lot of respect by others if you process that in the reality of human world. I don't see hatred and other things become more powerful than this. He said that this is called Brahma heaven world, real heaven world. So this is what I see that the Buddha mentioned. So in his final life, that the Buddha himself is not go to extreme, but he's facing his very extreme bad situation. He still tell what to do, and he tell when the spiritual community of the Sangha have opinion, you deny accept my discipline, I deny accept what your action, so they have a little bit quarreling. The Buddha said, no, it's not work there. You need to have more meditation. Bring your mindset to see, not see the dust, but see the goodness to apply to your own life. So we always upset and then heartbroken by the dust. We don't know the dust can put the seed in and then turn the seed into vegetable farm. So this is what the Buddha in his situation. Okay, we go to the next part. Yeah, this is after my own refer back to the life of the Buddha in a very real, realistic and pragmatic. How to get something that for your own life that to nourish this very life into transcendence. If the world is like that, so much thing that we don't know the condition, what to apply to. So how can we individual have more overcome this situation? So here is what I put into one sentence, if it makes sense. From complexity to simplicity, the ultimate goal can be relief to reach. Simplicity is the only thing what I know in the life, that if you can make the life simplicity, it always will be more sharp and profound. Especially right now, when I reflection back, you know, when the Buddha time, he just mentioned 5 skandha. You need to know, and then applying, you know, not let the 5 hindrances come into the mind and body. Okay, that's it. So very simple, you know, so that they say, oh, this is called sutra. Then you can chanting, you know, remember this short sentence. That's it. Always remember it, put it into practice. Make the life simple. Other than what you need, you can share with others. You don't have to worry if you have other, you know, support you beside you. You don't have to worry. So you just open up. Medical is like that. I don't see medical will power until starving until that. I don't see. Yeah, they will work hard to others. So simplicity is profound, is pure, is clean. Only that greedy will have more and more and more. Still not make him come to the heaven, but maybe fall into more darkness. So this need to carry from majority, big amounts of people. Of course, you are a big amounts of people learn the Dharma. If you put it your life, then you will be minority. Only minority can realize the truth because he practiced more serious, put more time into the training. Finally, only individual can success and put the Dharma into his shoulder as responsibility. So when I read all this, the Sangha life, discipline life, then I see a lot of, you know, the individual come into this, you know, Sangha, and then he will maybe 10 years life, 20 years life, maybe not come to an end, he will disappear in this spiritual serving. And practice too. A lot of people practice, and then later on, they will give up, they will give up, they will give up. When I see that, finally, if everyone give up, am I give up? when you see the Buddha, he never give up until he come to the goal. So I will, in this solution, all the simplicity, may you learn the sutra, learn the discipline, and learn the commentary is not make complicated, but make your life more silent and released until this maturing of life that you will have that no more other else. Confidence. Even though everyone give up, you still put it into your shoulder. This is what I have. Other than this, nothing can work very well to liberation. Okay. So the Buddha, his life mentioned not much thing, but just that after all what he mentioned, and come to the life of release. So life of release may be more silent. The silent message come to totally you can name it. Exactly, nothing you can label in it. The totally is ceasing. Exists a lot of information there. Not being counted, that information can give you any deliverance. So this is what I mentioned about. Lastly, the Buddha also refer back, that is the path for the old man, 80 years old. All the practice come into his life that he's not come into the goal yet. So he is urgently need because the Buddha is in the Saratri, in the final Nibbana. Tell me something. So the Buddha mentioned that is the path. Only the path. So mention first build up the assembly, he talk about the path, for the Sangha, for community of the medical come together. You are holding this truth and responsibility to spread the truth into the world as the Sangha team. And lastly, he mentioned about this is the path. If the path is still remain in the individual, it still remain in the society, the truth can be found, can be seen. Okay. So this is what I want to mention about the second, and the third one is the last one. After this, I will start my profound accumulation and gradual believer, wise will and frugal use. It all come from my Chinese word. But my translation, I hope it carries the meaning there. This have a little bit deep and not easy to explain. The first one, what I want to say is if the skill of make living, like the high-tech skill, daily craftsmanship skill, art skill, or learning to become a teacher skill, all this, you need to process it slow. Practice also like that. For individuals, what we call the practice, you need to process it slow, gradually move forward. You see, my life is not gradually move forward. It's little bit more time. So most of my time, even though until I have not much what we call the entertainment. No more entertainment. My entertainment is meditation. no more other. So it become slowly fit in. It become this is better than other. So when I want to watch a movie, I will have my paper there and watch it like that. People to watch movie, ha ha ha. I don't have. I watch movie like I observe something, want to make sure that anything I can learn from it like that. So my entertainment is still in learning processing, like that. Not go to other thing. That is how when I come to the Buddha Dharma, this Dharma, it really makes sense to what I can learn from other. So I keep it. And secondly, what I want to mention is when this, called wide view and into frugal use is talk about the consuming and talk about the individual in the society, why the society become unbalanced. Unbalanced means very rich, very powerful. So the United States, what we say is the middle class need to balance. If you lost the middle class, it will be danger. The society will be danger. The rich too rich and the poor too poor. In the Qing dynasty, why Chinese Qing dynasty become corrupt is because of the poor too poor. The rich one is rich, and then other nations come in to take all what you have. You have no power to defend, no power to tell them, oh, no, come in. We are okay. We don't need the thing that you sell for us. We cannot do it. So the corrupt, the whole country destroyed. So until nothing they can they get the solution to make change of the society, then communism from the West come in, China take it. I don't know what is that mean, but I know something is they are more willing to share. They are more willing to share. They are more hold the power, pour poverty into the society. What can I do for the poor, the weak? This is what they have another kind of society move into China. And then China right now, after 70 years, they become another kind of strong. But that strong, I think we need to alert and learn from that. I see by my eye. I don't tell lie. What in this many years when I have traveled to this region, they are changing is from very poor situation become right now the regions is more better than us. This is the truth. And they're not only better than us, but they put out all this helping to region around them, the country around them, slowly they move. This is what they do for consuming. You have the ability to consume. Very general standard consume material, you got it. I don't say more advanced consume product, I said general. This is what I mean in the life that the Buddha, I think in the society, he have a lot of in mind that talk about mundane life. I use the word mundane life. Mundane life is take very general possibility to everyone, not accept everyone. So in the leader of the world, that the Buddha mentioned about discipline. You see, oh, the 5 precepts I will mention today. Not much we can say that discipline can be very, very deep and very beneficial to use into the society. It's 5 precepts. See, 5 precepts. So if we do lots of this support, what can we say to society? You can see it. For our human civilization, the Buddha mentioned, it's not this culture, that culture, this race, that nation is not. It's the human, we need to have certain discipline, you know, and then how to put your mind, the mind need to come to meditate, you know, and then you need to remember what the truth saying. The Buddha give a lot of opinion. In the first of this enlightenment, you see that is not success, but the middle of his age, after what age? After 50 to 65, success. Overcome what we right now. I want to say the words before we end. This is his successful into overcome annihilationism, eternalism, materialism, fatalism, and talk about, you know, you cannot deny to the causality, because causality is what the Buddha found in the middle of the night before he enlightened. He see the causality. So in the every scholar or very top wise people in the world, they talk a little bit, mention a little bit part of causality, but not mention so complete and perfect like the Buddha mentioned. So only causality can see through this world. Only the complete understanding of Four Noble Truths can make you put the life into very serious of training. So he mentioned this too when my master told me, oh, a lot of things that how they can come to simplicity. He said the Buddha only mentioned 2 theories and practice. One is causality, one is the noble truth. This is what he had. In his whole life, he just preaching this, and then he himself and the Sangha, he need to put it into training in these 2. Causality and noble truth. Thank you.